Welcome to Pydle Day 161. Pydle is a daily puzzle you need to solve by writing Python code. Today's Pydle is a pineapple, so have a go at solving that. I have an exciting announcement. We now have an archive dialog in Pydle where you can access previous puzzles much more easily than before. You can also see the ones you haven't played. So let me know on Reddit or YouTube if you find it useful or what else you want from it. And please report any bugs on GitHub, which is the icon at the bottom. Okay, so as usual, I will now solve yesterday's Pydle. If you're new to Pydle or you just want some tips on solving Pydles, then stick around. Just for because I'm going to solve it now. I will be doing a very understandable solution. If you want really clever solutions and really short solutions, then do go on the Reddit link below, where you'll find some really interesting solutions. Okay, so for a kind of a rich picture like this, there's not a lot of patterns really. Sometimes it just feels there's lots of different pixels making up the picture. But we can see there's an area of white there and an area of white there, and whenever we've got a diagonal and like a triangle we need to fill in, we can use either x equals y equals x or y equals minus x, depending on the direction. And that's going to be true for this little area there. So the equation is if y greater than x plus 1, then you need to make those white. And the reason it works, it's upside down if you think of Cartesian coordinates. So it is upside down. But we can see that that line there intercepts the y-axis at for the point 1. So that's why y must be greater than x plus 1, and that will shade just that area there. Hope it makes sense. Okay, there you can see it worked. Now we're gonna do a few more. So that tiny area there, we can say all y greater than 4 minus x, because it's the opposite direction from that one, or the slope is the opposite, so that's why it's a minus x. Let's just run that. It's going to fill in too much, so we're going to restrict it. You can see we're on the right track there, so we basically just need to say stop if y is bigger than 2. So we must say and y less than 3. Okay, that's the 2 white areas that seem to be quite easy. And now the remaining ones are just kind of random, or there's no real pattern to them. So now we're just going to say or, and I'm going to use the left to right index of these pixels. So starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way to 24 over there. And the way we can calculate that index is by saying 5 times y plus x in. Now we just create a tuple, and those pixels are 2, 5, and 24. 24 being the last one. Okay. and now you can see we've got all the white pixels sorted. Okay, we're going to do the greens and the yellows together. So green and yellow because is on a single x value, and then the orange and the blue we're just going to do at the end. Okay, so now we can say Alif, and we just say x equals 1. That's a nice and simple one because we've kind of eliminated the complex whites, and now we've got much more simpler areas. So Alif x equals 1, and now we can just say Pydle. So the green if y equals 0, else yellow. Okay. Okay, so that picture is slowly filling in. And now finally we can just say Alif and x greater than 1, because there's still the beak, which is black, and we're just going to leave that the default color, which is black. Okay, and now we can do, okay, so we're going to need to do something for the orange. So let's say orange if so there's a number of ways you can do that. We can either say x equals 2. Yeah, let's do that. X equals 2 equals, so y is 3, so we need to say equals y minus 1. Okay, so x equals 2 and y minus 1 equals 2, that particular pixel, and else blue. Okay, so that solves the Pydle. Okay, hope you had fun solving that. Have a go at Pydle, the pineapple, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow.